Every writer wants to create a character with depth, but often we just end up with a character who has a sad backstory and a cool setting that never actually meet. If your protagonist feels like they're just floating through your world rather than being forged by it, you have a depth problem. Today we are looking at the gold standard of character depth, viz from James Islington's The Will of the Many. The use of what I'm about to share with you after recently reading The Will of the Many is the reason why the high fantasy novel is so good. We're going to break down how Islington uses what I call a conflict stack, layering personal vendetta temptations, a restricted world history in a setting where only a few have power after ceding their will, and dual blackmail, to create a character who cannot be boring and must dig deep to survive. By the end of this video, you won't just understand why Viz is such a compelling protagonist, you'll have a 3-layer framework to apply to your own manuscript to ensure your characters feel as deep and as inevitable as the world they live in. This is tip number 8 in our book writing tip series, and we're starting with the foundation of it all, the weight of personal history. Let's dive in. The vendetta temptation. The first layer of depth in The Will of the Many is what I call the historical anchor. Many writers give their characters a tragic past just for flavour. It makes them sad or brooding, but it doesn't actually do anything. In James Islington's work, Viz's history isn't just a memory, it's a constant pulling at his heart, causing renewed grief and anger. He isn't just the survivor of a fallen royalty, he is the living embodiment of the people the very system he's forced to join tried to destroy. He constantly fights the temptation of setting out on a crusade to destroy those who killed his family and society, fighting his anger and trying to be the man his king father would have wanted him to be. At one point, he has to talk respectively to the very man who ordered the execution of his family and hide his emotions. Viz knows that many innocent people could die if he gives into his vendetta drive and joins the rebels seeking to take the hierarchy down. This is the difference between a character who is sad and a character who is alive and real and making wise and compassionate choices despite numerous challenges. Viz's family was destroyed by the Catalan Republic. When we meet him, every choice he makes is filtered through that lens of loss and the conflict between taking revenge and surviving in an oppressive world he resents due to the power imbalance and what it did to his family. The brilliance here is that his vendetta makes him a potential danger to himself. He can't just blend in at the academy without suppressing his emotions and making brave decisions, because his internal history is constantly at war with his external surroundings. This creates immediate internal depth, because every time he succeeds in the Republic system, he feels like he's betraying his family's memory by being part of the system that destroyed them. Okay, the actionable writing tip. So how do you apply this? Tip number 1 of tip number 8, turn your backstory into a burden. Don't just give your character a tragedy, give them a specific goal that was born from that tragedy. If their village was burned down, they shouldn't just be angry. Maybe they're obsessed with building a wall so high no one could ever jump it, or they're hunting the specific person who held the torch. Or do what Islington did and have them struggle with the desire for revenge, but have too many other pressures to even go there, and realize that the cost of settling the vendetta is too high. The actionable step here is, here's your homework. Look at your protagonist's past, find one historical event, something that happened before page 1, and write down exactly how that event makes the current goal non-negotiable or shapes their struggles. If they can walk away from their mission without feeling like they're betraying their past, your history layer isn't deep enough yet. But on the other hand, if they can walk away despite the vendetta drive, because they know the carnage they will create by pursuing their vendetta will be too great and their family would frown down upon it, your layer and character development is spot on. Layer 2, the world as a vice. Now that we have Viz's internal drive, we need to talk about vice. This is layer 2. A common mistake in world building is making your setting too convenient for your hero. In a deep novel, the world should be the hero's biggest obstacle. In The Will of the Many, the Catalan Republic isn't just a cool Roman-inspired setting, It's a rigid, oppressive hierarchy that is designed to crush anyone who doesn't fit in, specifically someone like Viz, and someone without will. Islington uses the world's history of conquest and the hierarchy system to create a constant sense of claustrophobia. The world doesn't just exist around Viz, it restricts him. Because of the world's history, Viz's very existence is a crime. The rules of the society where will is literally drained from the lower classes to power the upper tiers just isn't law, it's a mechanism that forces Viz to make impossible choices every single day just to survive. The world's history is the air he breathes and it's running out. The actionable writing tip here as part of the conflict stack is: your world rules must restrict your character. If your character can do whatever they want without the world pushing back, you're missing a layer of this depth. To fix this, look at your world's social, political, or magical rules. Every rule you create should make your protagonist's life harder, not easier. Try this. Identify one world rule in your manuscript. It could be a law, a social custom, or a law of physics that actively blocks your protagonist from their main goal. If your world doesn't have a rule that makes your hero's journey feel impossible, it's time to invent one. The more your world feels like a vice, the deeper your character's ingenuity will have to be to escape it. The pressure cooker. We have a character with a conflicting, tempting vendetta and a world that's trying to crush them, but why don't they just run away or hide? That's where layer 3, the pressure cooker, comes in. In the world of the many, Viz isn't just motivated by his own goals, he is being squeezed by dual blackmail. He has two different powerful forces threatening to destroy everything he has left if he doesn't do exactly what they say. This is how you create a character who is proactive even when they have no good options. The impossible choice. Viz is caught between the military of the Republic and the rebel Angui. One side wants him to spy, the other wants him to influence the academy from within and find out what religion are doing at the ruins. If he says no to one, or doesn't do what they expect, he dies. If he says no to the other, his secrets are revealed. This creates what I call layered conflict. It's not just man versus society anymore, it's man versus two different versions of society. Every move he makes to satisfy one side risks infuriating the other. This isn't just action, it's a character being forged in a fire he didn't start. Give your character impossible bosses. If your hero only has one enemy, their choices are simple: fight or flight. But if they have two enemies with complications in their relationship, your hero is stuck in the middle. They have to be clever to survive. This adds immediate depth because your character can't just use a sword, they have to use their brain. The actionable step: look at your current draft. Does your protagonist have a safe place to go? If so, take it away. Give them two conflicting obligations that force them to lie to everyone they meet for survival. When your character is forced to juggle multiple secrets just to stay alive, depth isn't something you have to add, it's something that actually happens. And Viz does have to lie to everyone. He can't tell them about his family background, but then he's got different people he can tell certain things to because there's different people wanting to do different things. Hey, when your character is forced to juggle multiple secrets just to stay alive, depth isn't something you have to add. It's something that happens naturally. When you stack these three layers, the internal vendetta, the world rules, and the dual blackmail, you get the conflict stacked. This is why Viz is such a compelling character. He isn't just deep because he's complicated. He's deep because he's trapped in a perfectly constructed narrative engine. Take these three layers and apply them to your own work. Which one is your story missing? Let me know in the comments, and let's troubleshoot your plot together. This has been tip number 8 in our series, Use the Conflict Stack. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe if you found this useful. I'll see you in the next lesson.